So the number 7. So our topic for today is about division. So division, so how to divide numbers or integers. So number 1 is move the decimal point. So how to divide decimal numbers. So move the decimal point in the divisor up to the necessary number of places to the right to make it a whole number. So we move the decimal point in the divisor. So to the necessary number of places to the right to make it a whole number. Example is 0.25. So move decimal to the right. So 0.25, 1, 2 decimal places. So next is move decimal point in the dividend to the same number of places to the right. So put decimal point in the quotient directly above the new location of the decimal point in the dividend. So next is proceed with the technique for dividing whole numbers, noting the location of the decimal point in the quotient. So 0.25 divide 3.75. So the process is move the decimal point in the divisor and the dividend in such a way that the divisor will become a whole number. So step 2, put a decimal point in the quotient directly above the new location so of the decimal point in the dividend. Divide whole numbers, noting the location of the decimal point in the quotient. So 25 divide 0.25 divide 3.75. So to make it a whole number, so the new whole number is 25 divide 375, because 0.25 move places to the right, move 2 places to the right, and 3.75 2 places to the right. So that it will make a whole number. So that's all for the division. So let's proceed to fraction. How converting fraction to decimal, or how you convert the fraction to decimal. So fractions, so divide the numerator by the denominator. Example, 4/5, 4 to the power of 5, so equals, so 4 divide 5, so 4 has a 0, so add 0, so point, so 40 divided 5, that is 0 times 5, that is 0, then point, so 4 divided 5, that is 0 times 5 plus 4, bring down 0, so 40, so 40 divided 5, it is equal to 8, so 0.8, 4/5 is equals to 0.8. So next is converting the decimal to fraction. Converting decimal to fraction, so multiply decimal by a fraction in a power of 10, that will remove the decimal point. example is 2.3. So what is the fraction of 2.3? So divide 2.3 by 10. So 2.3 divide 1 times 10 over 10. So 23 times 2.3 times 10, that is 23. 1 times 10 because 1, that is 23 over 10. So what is the mixed form of 23 over 10? So 23 over 10 or 2 3 over 10. So that is the mixed number, because 23 over 10 is an improper fraction, so we will change it to proper fraction. So 2 of 3 over 10. So reducing fractions, let's proceed to reducing fractions. So when we reduce fractions, divide the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor. So example is 9 over 54. So reduce it to the smallest term. So 9 over 54. So what is the greatest factor of 9? So 9 divided 9 equals 1, and 54 divided 9 is equal 6. So the smallest term of 9 over 54 is 1 over 6. So we can easily divide 9 and 54 divide 9, so that it will make a smallest term. So simplify it to the lowest term. So another example is 27 over 45. So what is the lowest term of 27 over 25? So 27 divide 9. So the GCF is 9. So 27 divide 9 is equals to 3. 45 and 54 divide 9 is 5. So 3/5. 27 over 54 is equals to 3/5. So next, proceed to converting mixed number to improper fraction. So how to convert mixed number to an improper fraction? So multiply the denominator and the whole number, then add the result to the numerator, copy the denominator. So example is 4 2/5. So 4 2/5 is 4 and 2/5 is an improper fraction, is a mixed number. So how we can change it into the improper fraction? So according to the rule that multiply the denominator and the whole number, so 5 times 4 is equals to 20, then plus 2 is equals to 22, then copy the denominator. So 22 over the denominator is 5 and copy 5. So that's it. So again, 4 and 2/5, the improper fraction of 4 and 2/5 is equals to 22/5. Why? Because according to the rule, multiply the denominator and the whole number. So 4 is the whole number and 5 is denominator. So 4 times 5 is equals to 20, then plus 2 is equals to 22. So the denominator is 5, then copy the denominator. So that's all on how we convert mixed number to improper fraction. So let's proceed to the converting improper fraction to mixed number, so vice versa. So the rule is divide the numerator by the denominator. The answer becomes the whole number of the mixed number, while the remainder becomes the numerator, and copy the denominator. This example is 22 over 5. So according to the rule, that divide the numerator, so by the denominator. So 22 divide 5, that is equals to 4. So 4 times 5 equals 20. Then 22 minus 20 is equal to 2. So the remainder is 2. So according to the rule, the answer becomes the whole number. So what is the answer? 22 divided 5 is 4. So 4 is the whole number. So and the mixed number, and the remainder becomes the numerator. So what is the remainder? 2. 2 is the denominator. So 4 whole number, 2 is the numerator, and copy the denominator. So 20 over 5 or 22 over 5 is a denominator, and copy denominator. So the answer is 4 and 2/5. So let's proceed to comparing fraction. We can compare fractions. So note, if you see this, that is less than. You see this is less than sign, and that is less than, and greater than, less than, greater than, equals. So in comparing fractions, cross multiply and compare the answers. So example is 5 over 7. So compared to 3/4. So what is the largest, or what is the larger fractions? So 5/7 or 3/4. So if we can't compare it, so we can cross multiply. Just cross multiply. So 5 times 4, that is 20, and 7 times 2 is 21. So therefore the biggest or the bigger fraction is 3/4, because 20 is less than 21, and 21 is greater than what? Greater than, so 20 is less than 21, and 5/7 is less than 3/4. So that is why how we can compare fraction. Just cross multiply and compare the answers. So again, in comparing fraction, cross multiply and compare the answers. So 5, example 5 over 7 compared to 3 over 4. So the larger fraction is 3 over 4. So why? Because 5 times 4 equals 20, and 7 times 3 equals 21. So 20 is less than 21. So 5/7 is less than 21. 3/4. So that's it. So another is the operation on fractions. So note, for mixed numbers, when adding or subtracting, maintain the mixed numbers. When multiplying or dividing, convert the mixed number to improper fraction. So addition and subtraction. So according to similar fraction, add, subtract the numerators, retain the denominator. Example as 1/7 plus 2/7. So the same denominator. So copy the denominator and then add the numerator. So that's how we can add fractions with the same denominator. So 1 plus 2 is equals to 3, and copy the denominator, that is 7. So 1/7 plus 2/7 is equals to 3/7. So another example, 5 minus 8 minus 2 8. So just subtract the numerator and then copy the denominator, because this is the same denominator. So that's it. So special topic, so changing fractions to equivalent fractions. So how we can change fractions to equivalent fractions. So example is 1/4 is equal to 7/28. So step 1 is you can find the LCD or the LCM of the fractions. Step 2 is to divide the LCD by its denominator and multiply the answer to the numerator. Your answer will be your new numerator. Example is 1/4 equals 7/28. So 4 plus 28. So 4 times 1 is equals to 28. Divide 4, that is 4 plus times 28 divided 4 is equal to 7. Then plus times 1, that is 7. So another topic is adding the whole number and fraction. So when we add adding whole numbers, since this addition, simply bring down the fractions and add the whole numbers. Example is 3 and 1/4 plus 9 and 1/4. We just add the whole number and then bring down the fraction. So that's it. So versions of fractions. So here we go to multiplication. So how to operate fractions on multiplication. So in multiplying fractions, so multiply the numerators and multiply denominators, reduce the product to its lowest term if necessary. So case number 1, so multiplying proper fractions without cancellation. So simply multiply the numerator and the denominator. Example is 2 over 7 times 3 over 5, or 3 over 5 is equals to what? 6 over 35. And why? Because we can simply multiply the numerators. What are the numerators? See, 2 and 3. So 2 times 3 is equals to 6. And the denominators are 7 and 5. So 7 times 5 is equals to 35. So multiplying proper fractions with cancellation. Example is 4 over 6 times 7 over 21. So before multiplying the fractions, get the lowest term of each fraction first. Example is 2 times 1, that is 2. 3 times 3 equals 9. Full. Therefore, 6 times 721 is equals to 2 over 9. You may also cancel the GCF of the numerator of the other fraction to the denominator of the next fraction. For example, 5 over 21 times 9 over 25. So each of these fractions is already in its lowest term. But there are still common factors for the numerators of the fractions to the denominators of the other fractions. So example is 5 over 21. So 25 divided 5 is cancel 1. That's it. So let's go to division. How we can divide? can divide the fractions. So very simple. So get the reciprocal of the second number, then proceed to multiplication. So to find the reciprocal of a fraction, invert or reverse the position of the numerator and the denominator. For example, the reciprocal of 2/3 is what? 3, 2. So to find the reciprocal of a mixed number, change it to invert improper fractions before inverting it. For example, the reciprocal of 2 and 1/3 or 7/3 is 3/7. So, and here we go to another topic. So, fraction as a part of a whole. So fraction as a part of a whole. Part is equals to fraction times whole. So when translating words to math, use the following. Is R is equal of, that is times. Is or L is equals of is times, and what is N? So case 1, solving for the part. So what is the 1/4 of 100? So what is N? Is equal. So 1/4 and of is times 100. So what is 1/4 of 100? So the N is equal to 1/4 times 100. So translate each word to its mathematical equivalent. So N equals 1/4 times 100. Solve. So N is equals to 100 times 1 is equals 100, and 4 times 1 is equals 4. So 100/4. N is equals to 100/4. So 100 divided 4 is equals to 25. So therefore, N is equals to 25, or 25 is a 1/4 of 100. So another case number 2, solving for the whole. So 25 is 1/4 of what number? So 25 is equal 1/4 and of is times, and what number is N? So therefore 25 equals 1/4 times N. So translate each word to its mathematical equivalent. Solve then. So 25 equals 1/4 times N. So 25 N times 1, that is N, and 4 times 1 equals N. So N/4. 25 is equal to N/4. So 25, so multiply so that it will eliminate 4, no? That we can get an N. So 4 times 11, that is and 4 times N, that is 4. Then so that n is so that n remains. So n this cancel, that is 4 times n equal to 100. So n is equals to 100. So in case 3, solving for the fractional part. So what part of 100 is 25? So what is n? Then of is times, then 100 is equal to 25. So n times 100 is equals to 25. So translate each word to its mathematical equivalent. So n times 100 is equals to 25. So n times 100 is 100 n equals 25. So 100 n, so divide by 100 so that n remains. So divide both sides by 100. So 100 divide n 100 times n, that is multiply both sides by divide both sides by 100 rather. 100 divide 100, 100 divide 100, that is equals to n. 20 divided by 100 is equals to 1/4. What is that point? So let's proceed to percent. So here we go to percent. So convert to percent or convert percent to decimal. So how we can convert a percent to decimal? So rule is move the decimal place 2 places to the left and drop the percent sign. So for example, %10 of 100, 10%. So there is a formula. So percent formula, part is equal percent times whole. So part meaning is a percentage, and percent base times rate, or the percentage base times rate, or P is equals to B times R. So not in solving percent problems, always convert the percent to decimal before solving. So solving for the percentage. So what is the 25% of 50? So what is n is equals 25% times 50. So 25% is equals to 0.25. So move the decimal places to the left. So 25%, that is move decimal places to from the right to the left. So 1, 2, that is 0.25. So 25% is equals to 0.25. So times 50. So 0.25 times 50, translate each word to its mathematical equivalent, convert the percent to decimal. So 0.25 times 50 is equal to 12.5. So n is equals to 12.5. This is number 2, solving for base. So 12.5 is 25% of what number? So translate each word to its mathematical equivalent. So 12.5 is equal 25%, copy of is equals times what number is n. So the mathematical equivalent is 12.5 equal 25% times n. So 12.5, 25% is equals to 0.25 times n. So 12.5 is equal to 0.25 n. So divide both sides by 0.25. So cancel in 12.5 divided 0 is equal to 50. So therefore n is equals to 50. So therefore 12.5 is 25% of 50. So solving for the rate. So what percent of 50 is 12.5? So n, what percent is n of times 50? Then s is equal to 12.5. So translate to its mathematical equivalent. So 50 n. So 50 times n is equal to 50n, then 12.5. So divide both sides by 50. That is cancel 50 over 50. That is 1 times n equals to 12.5 divided 50 is equals to 0.25. Then 0.25 or 0.25 2% is equals to 25%. So move 2 places to the right to make a percentage. That's all for the percent formula. So percent increase and decrease. So finding the percent increase. So the formula is percent is equal to new value minus the old value over the old value. So that is how we find the percent increase, and finding the percent decrease is equal to percentage is equal to old value minus the new value over the old value. So note, always divide by the old value. So other terms, clue words for percent decrease: markup, inflation, percent decrease, discount, and depreciation. Example: solve for the percent increase. Given old value is 12 and new value is 18. To substitute the equation, percent increase is equals to the new value minus old value over the old value. So percent increase is 18 minus 12 old value over 12. So So 18 minus 12 is 6 over 12, so 0.5. So 50% increase. So again, remember that in solving for percent decreases, the formula is percent decrease equal new value minus the old value over the old value. So example is 18 is the new value. So the percentage decrease is 50%. Solve for the percent decrease. Given the old value is 200 and new value is 150. So the old value is minus new value. So percent increase is equal to 200. This is 200 minus 150 over the 200. 50 over 200 is 0.25. So 0.25 is 25% decrease. So finding the old value. When the new value and the percent increase or decrease are given, use the following formulas to solve for the old value. So old value plus percent increase times old value is equal to the new value. So old value minus percent times old value, that is new value. So no phrases and sentences. You will know that the old value is missing when you encounter some of these phrases or sentences in the word problem. After percent increase decrease, the noun was amount. So what was the noun before the increase decrease? It was the original list regular price. So example, after 20% increase, so the population was 48,000. So what was the population for the increase? So percent increase is 20%. So new population is 48,000. So solution is substitute the values to the formula. So old value plus 0.20 times old value is equals to 48,000. So 1.220 times old value is equal to 40,000. So 1.20 times old value is equal to 40,000. Divide 120 is 40,000. So finding the new value. So when the old value and the percent increase, or decrease are given. So use the same formulas to solve for the new value. So old value plus percent increase times the old value is the new value. Old value minus percent decrease, old value is equals to new value. Example, solve for the new value. Increase 60 by 20%. So old value is percent increase times old value is equal to new value. So 60 is the percent increase, then 0.20 times 60, that is equals to n. So 60 plus 12 is equals to n. So n is equals to 72. So decrease by 60 by 20%. So old value is equals to percent decrease times the old value is equals to new value. 60 by 20%. 60 So next is combined percent and increase and decrease. So the combined percent increase or decrease is an application on finding the new value. So there are problems where you should get the new value at least twice. Example, this month, the store manager decided to decrease the prices of all items by 20%. This month, he increased the prices by 10%. What would be the price for a pair of shoes that had cost 750 pesos before prices were decreased last month? So last month is 20% decrease, this month is 10% increase. So original price is 750 pesos. So solution, last month old value minus percent decrease, old value equals new value. So 750 minus 0.20 times 750 is equals n. So 750 old value percent decrease is 0.20 times the old value 750 is equals n. 750 minus 150 is equals to n, that is 600. N is equals to 600. So 600 will be the original value for the next calculation. So discount, commission, and markup. So original price, this is the markup price or list price. So discount amount being deducted from the original price. So selling price is the resulting amount after the discount had been deducted from the original price. So the formula is selling price is equals to original price minus the discount. So rate of the discount is discount over the original price times 100%. So example, above is being sold at 390 pesos. If its original price is 600 pesos, find the rate of the discount. So selling price is equals to 390, original price is equals to 600. So solve for the discount in order to get the rate of the discount. So discount is equals to original price minus the selling price. So this is equals to 600 minus 390, discount is 210. Therefore discount is 210. substitute the value to the formula for a rate of discount. So rate of discount is discount over the original price times 100%. So discount is 210 over the 600 times 100%. So that is equivalent to 35%. Rudy. So interest. Let's go to the interest. Interest is the amount of money, is the amount paid for the use of money. The principal is the money that is borrowed. Time is the number of days or months or years for which the money is being borrowed, and interest is calculated. So simple interest equals principal times rate times time. So example, Thomas earned $65.25 simple interest for 1 year on an investment of $900. What annual rate of interest was paid? So given simple interest is $65.25, time is 1 year, principal investment is $900. Solution is with interest and principal time. So the annual rate of interest is 7.25%. Next, the ratio and proportion. So a ratio is a comparison of two numbers or two quantities of the same unit. Example, in a class of 40 students, there are 25 boys and 15 girls. So what is the ratio of boys to girls? Girls to children, boys to children. So according to the given, boys to girls is equals to 25 boys and 15 girls. So that is the ratio. So we can simplify it by 5 to the ratio of 3, because 25 divided 5 is equals to 5, then 15 divided 5 is equals to 3. So 25 is to 15 or 5 is to 3. So girls to children. So girls is 15 and children is 40. So 15 is to 40 or 3 is to 8. So what is the ratio of boys to children? So boys is equals to 25 and children is 40 overall. So 25 is to 40 or 5 is to 8. So a proportion. Proportion is equation stating two ratios are equal. EBR equal ENB equals CD, or A is to B is equal to C to D. So there are three types of proportions. Direct proportion. So when one quantity increases, the other quantity increases. For example, if someone can drive 174 kilometers in 3 hours, so how far can we go in 5 hours? So direct proportion example is 174 kilometers is to 3 hours, and n is equals to 5 hours. So direct proportion, so multiply extremes in the equate to the product of domains. So this example is 174 kilometers is to 3, r equals 2, n is to 5. So 174 times means is 174 times 5 extremes, then means is 3 times n. So 870 equals to 3n. So divide both sides by 3, and so it's 73, that is 290 kilometers.